talked about us at all.
What a bunch of a-holes.
That's all right, Paulsville for all. I haven't forgotten about you. No. Chris Gergen has no idea who you guys are. He has no idea how lucky he is. I mean, he's from Vegas, right? They got the mob down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
They got big organized workers unions causing all kinds of strife down there.
Yep.
They got all kinds of issues, but there's nothing compared to you folks up in Paulsville for all. And I just want to thank you for your support. They're this liberal activist wing up on the north end of the county, and they hate us.
Oh,
they hate us, and they hate people that appear on the show, and they try to bury people, and they accused me. What's the Grand Master?
Grand Wizard.
They accused me of being a Grand Wizard of the KKK.
yeah. Well, clearly
me.
that was my first impression.
Yeah,
of it,
that's
you know.
I'm
Clearly.
I'm like, where do you get the robe? Is there a secret handshake? I should know these things.
And called the cops on us.
And they called the cops on
Wow.
us because they accused us of hacking their email because somebody in their organization feeds us stuff.
Oh.
And then
more than one.
Yeah.
There's
multiple.
quite a few.
But
we have a couple moles.
My youngest daughter is African American. She's half African American.
Okay.
And yet I'm a grandmaster, grand poobah of the KKK.
Right.
I don't know how that works. Clearly there's
Kevin is also a registered Native American.
I'm Native American and a Democrat, but I'm horrible. So anyway, Paulsville for all. Just wanted you guys to know I hadn't forgotten about you. And
hello.
In the immortal words of Kurt Russell from Tombstone, I'm coming and hell's coming with me.
Oh,
all right.
There you go.
I like that movie. All right. So you have numbers.
Yes.
And I want put these into perspective before you share them. What are these numbers going to illustrate?
Okay. So if you go to the PDC.
I'm sorry. Chris Gergen, by the way.
Yes.
What is your title again? Campaign.
I'm a general political consultant.
Political consultant. Thank you.
Yep.
And he's working with the Jesse Young campaign. Jesse Young is back.
Several others.
And several others around the state. But Jesse Young here in the 26th is running back for state rerepresentative. All right. I just want people to know who we're talking to. Go ahead.
All right. So if you go to the PDC, which is the Public Disclosure Commission, they publish and provide transparency to all of the contributions and expenses for all of the candidates and different committees and all of these different things. So anybody in the public can go in and take a look at where the parties are, the Republican Party, the Democrat Party, the, Sammy Burr's campaign, Dave Reicher's campaign, Jesse Young's campaign. Doesn't make a difference. You can look it all up there, right? And there are rules, and you've got to report it properly. And if it's not right, then you can file complaints. And it's
all just public disclosure.
It's all public disclosure.
Perfect.
So when you look at the Washington State Republican Party, they've got two different accounts, a non-exempt and an exempt, and I won't bother the people with what the difference is. But I'm just going to get you the bottom line. So all in, as of February 29th, which was the last report for all of February, because we're not done with March yet. So the most updated report, if you combine all of the money, so the non-exempt account has negative $5,058. So they couldn't buy you a chicken dinner.
Okay.
And the other account has $28,072. So all in, Republican at the state party level has $23,014.
That's it.
So when Chris gets on radio in other places 4 years ago and says that the party is irrelevant, right? Okay. So so I have to be fair. That was Republicans. Let me hit the Democrats. Okay. As of the 29th, the Democrats have $871,297 in their exempt account, and they have $1,648,782 in their non-exempt account. And so all in, the Dems at the state level, this is just at the state level. This isn't including all the county parties and all this other stuff. They have $2,520,079. Republicans have $23,014.
Well, roughly 10%.
No.
Republicans have roughly 10%.
1%.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. 1%.
1%.
No, you're right. 1%.
For every $100 bill.
Math was not my strong point.
Yeah. It's okay. We love you.
Wow.
For every $100 bill, Republicans have $1. They couldn't even buy you a Coke and a smile.
But why is that? I mean, because there's big money Republicans in this state
who are no longer giving into the party because we had a change of leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Caleb is no longer there. One thing, Caleb, and I like Caleb. I just saw him yesterday.
Caleb Heinrich, right?
Yep.
He was the former
Yep.
state Republican leader.
Yep, I like Caleb on a personal level. You know, he's a good man, good wife, good. He has a good wife, good family. He was very good at certain things like raising money.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I had some issues with him when it came to how that money was spent, but that's not a dig on him personally. It's just my opinion of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We've got to get away from, Caleb was a terrible human being because it's like, no, stop, man. Like, I like the dude, but I don't really like how you spent the money.
Mm-hmm.
But he was good at raising it. Right. So Jim Walsh, again, good man. Spent time with him during the Culp campaign. Not good at raising money, apparently.
Yeah.
Right. So that's going to be a problem later. So the top 5 Republican county parties.
Hold that thought for a second.
Okay.
In regards to that state level money.
Yeah.
How much will that hamstring Reichert against Bob Ferguson? How much does that damage that race?
So Reichert's on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The party can be used in certain ways to get money from one place to another. Right. Both parties do that. There are strict rules on how it's done. And, you know, people, as Jesse would say, do a little bit of suki and get money from one place to another. But Reichert's on his own.
Okay.
So
would this then impact like the down ballot tickets then, like some of the congressional races, some of the state races and all that?
Not the congressionals, because the congressionals are on their own.
Okay.
But the state level races, that's going to be hurting. We hadn't even got to H-Rock yet, and
okay.
Keep going. Keep
going.
No, I got.
I just want to make sure that because I don't understand the intricacies, so I assume some listeners don't too. So it helps put that into perspective.
So the House caucus and the Senate caucus, right? So a caucus is a group. So you've got a group of Republicans in the House and a group of Republicans in the Senate, right? And by group, I mean all of them that are elected. Okay. They're called caucuses, the House members and the Senate members. The House side is called H-Rock, House Republican, blah, blah, blah. So you've got 100, they have 100, after you take out liabilities, they've got $117,652 in the bank right now for House candidates. You say, well, Chris, that's $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. How many seats are there in the House? Somebody say 49.
49.
Right. So you got $117,000, and you've got to run you've got to help multiple candidates to defend seats and to flip seats. Okay. You look at the Washington State Democrats in their House, they've got 1.3 million.
Wow.
In the Senate, John Braun, I don't mind digging on John because John didn't mind digging on me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So fair is fair. He's only raised $153,000.
Wow.
Well, the Dems, they've got $522,000.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody that wants to talk to me about how relevant the party is, I'm going to tell you to go look at the PDC, and then you come back, call me, and we'll have conversation.
So this is interesting, right? Because you're, I assume, a conservative Republican.
Oh, yeah.
You're obviously an advocate for Republican causes and candidates in the state.
Yep.
And I would assume that most of the people that are in the chat that are Republicans, conservatives, would not have expected another fellow conservative Republican to come blow the doors off and say, you guys aren't really relevant right now. Like you don't have the money. You don't have the backing. You don't have the support. You don't have the ability.
So So when Lauren, so let's get back to Lauren. So Freed, his first act was to go get all the endorsements.
Mm-hmm.
And at first Lauren was like, Chris, we got to get some of these endorsements. I was like, nope. Well, why not? So you have to remember context. I started my firm in 2015. My first big client was Donald Trump. I was Donald Trump's political director in the state of Oregon during the primary and then into the general election.
Now you tell me. I have so many questions for you. We're going to have to bring you on again.
And then I went down to Florida and worked with his team down there and started running congressionals down there and got tied into all that stuff down there, which is where I met my beautiful wife. So when I came out here to Washington, if you took all of the Republicans that are involved in the party, all of them, and they're all little titles.
In Washington State?
In Washington State.
Okay.
The ones that have titles.
Right.
And you stuck them in a room, one room, maybe 5,000 people. Do you know how many people there are in Washington State? There's 7 million.
7 million, yeah.
How many registered voters? Roughly 5.2 million. Roughly, right? It fluctuates.
But they don't all vote.
No, you're right. They don't all vote, right?
No, they're terrible about it.
But let's just say 4 million of them vote.
That,
which is what happened last cycle. So
okay.
So let's call it 4 million vote. 5,000 people, 4 million voters. I told Lauren, win the crowd. Go win the crowd. Let the party people do party people things. You go win the crowd. We kissed no rings, which is what pissed people off about Lauren and, frankly, me. Why I took a lot of heat from some people. I was like, I'm not going to kiss your ring. You know whose ring I'm going to kiss? I'm going to go over there to that single mom who's struggling, who can't make bills because of gas taxes and because of this and because of this and because of this and all these different things that are going on, all these regulations for property taxes, all these different things. I'm going to go kiss her ring. That's the endorsement I want. That's the only endorsement that I want is the We the People endorsement. And that was how we chased this race straight out of the gate once I took control of it. And it only took like 2 or 3 months to blow by Freed, who had stuck with the, let's go get the party endorsement. Let's go get the party endorsement. You know, we got to get those people, you know, we got to get them behind us. Why? We the people means we the people. And what pissed the Republicans off was because they lost control. Now the party's broken. And if we go to this convention and the people at the convention, the delegates, endorse a Semi and the party endorses Reichert, it's going to fracture the party, and we are in real danger on the Republican side of a complete free fall collapse of the Republican Party in Washington State. It's happened in other states, and it can happen here. And if this doesn't get fixed by new leadership, leadership that actually wants to win, and an agreement that I'm trying to put together with stakeholders across the state to put the swords down, stop poking each other with these things, stop trying to wreck people. You know, if I'm running against you and you're a Republican, and let's just pretend that you're a Republican and I'm a Republican, and I cripple you, I cut your leg off, but you actually win the primary, now we got a one-legged candidate, and I have done all the opposition research, probably $25,000, $30,000 worth for the Democrats. And then the Democrat over here comes in. I'm sorry, brother. The Democrat over here comes in and rips your other leg off. Whose fault is that? That's my fault. That's the party's fault for allowing that kind of thing. Like, we've got to stop. We've got to stop doing that.
And if you look at Bob Ferguson, he has to be salivating over this.
Oh, he's
this is
he's laughing his ass off.
Yeah, this is steak and lobster. This is just hand it to him, and he can just eat the popcorn and enjoy it and watch as Semi and Reichert rip into each other, even though everybody knows no matter how much they like Semi or not, that he has zero shot.
None.
He has no traction. He has no war chest.
That's right.
And the rank and file of big Republican supporters are behind Reichert.
What big Republican supporters?
Well, I mean, the people
They're broke.
Well, the party's broke, but Reichert's not. Reichert's getting money,
right? But the supporters.
Well, you have larger dollar donors, right? That fund the party, but now they're not funding the party because the money people are not going to give money into a broken party, right? Because they're all business people, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So So if you could read a balance sheet and you're done well for yourself financially, maybe you're worth 7, 8, 9 figures, right? Well enough when you look at a balance sheet, which is what a C4 is. It's just a balance sheet, right? You can see, wow, as far as businesses go, this one broke.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not even worth 5, 6, 7 figures. I'm worth about 2 figures. And even I know that these are not wonderful numbers.
So what happens is now they take their money and they start to work outside the party, which is what you've seen with the initiatives that Brian Haywood has done a fantastic job with that. Right. And because he's a business guy, very smart guy. Saw him the other day too. Great conversation with him. He's got a fantastic heart. He's doing a lot of the right things. And, these guys, what they're doing is they're going to the candidates they like, saying, you know what, Jesse, I like you. I'm giving you, here you go. Here's a contribution. They're not giving that money to the party anymore and then allowing the party to distribute because they don't trust the leadership. Right. And so now the leadership within the party doesn't actually know anything about strategy. They don't know how to win.
Yeah. So I said this on the show last week, and Paul took umbrage with this, but this is what I said. I said, listen, if Bob Ferguson wins the election, Lauren Culp and the people on that side are going to be to blame, because there's enough erosion and enough infighting within the party that could be avoided. Do you agree with that sentiment, or am I oversimplifying it? And again, I know you're friends with Lauren, so I'm not trying to make this a personal attack on Lauren, but
no, I mean, and I've told this to Lauren. I mean, I'm not a super big fan of his angle of attack on this stuff, right? I mean, this is Lauren being Lauren, and Lauren is his own man, right?
Yeah.
And Lauren is a big boy, and he can stand up and take account for the things that he said. Is that the way that I would play it? Probably not.
Yeah.
Right. And like I said, I have not handled Lauren's social media for 2 years, right? 2.5 years. And
never his Twitter. You said
I've never controlled his Twitter. No, only his Facebook and Instagram accounts. And I don't control any of that. In fact, I really didn't control the Facebook a whole lot. We had actually a team of people that were very good. They did very good work. And I handled the messaging though. And the messaging was mine. And that's not to say that Lauren didn't have input. Of course he had input, but I was the one that kind of, like, I'm a comms guy at heart. That's kind of where I came from. And so Lauren is saying some things online that are raising eyebrows, right?
Yeah.
And I'm getting text messages in Vegas. I'm like, dude, I don't even have social media. I don't have any social media at all. And the reason is,
you live in a very happy world, don't you?
Well, I do. And I'm going to tell you why, because it becomes an attack vector. Like, so if you're my client, right, and I get on my Facebook and I say something just like way out of left field, and maybe it's not in keeping with the way that you believe, or maybe it's just caustic. Maybe it's just something that's just not like, it's like, whoa, dude, you maybe want to slow down on that.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden it becomes an attack vector against you. Like, oh, really? You hired that guy? Oh, did you see this post? And then all of a sudden they're screenshotting my stuff, right, attacking you over what I said. Right. There's a fundamental rule in this business: never outshine the star. Like, as a consultant, if you get in the media, like in the wrong way, for the wrong reasons, you're gone. Like that.
Yeah. Because
you can never outshine the candidate, ever. Like, that candidate will fire you in a heartbeat. Right. I've only had that happen to me once.
You're in the background for a reason. I mean,
absolutely.
You got to be in the background for a reason.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the only reason that I was anywhere up front for Lauren was because I am good on a stage. And so I was kind of the hype man when we were doing the rallies. I was the hype man, get them happy. The next governor of Washington State, Lauren Culp, the band, the whole 9 yards, and Lauren comes out. It's a big party. Woohoo. Like, that was my only part that I was out front. Everything else I was behind. Right. And, as a leader, you have to step up in front of the mistakes, and you have to pass on the praise. So for all the wins in Lauren's campaign, I always have said it was not me, it was the team. Like, we had an amazing team of people all across the state. Now, did I have anything to do with it? Of course I did. But at the end of the day, like, without them, there was no campaign. And for the things that we screwed up, I think I alluded to it earlier, like Monday morning quarterback this stuff. there's a lot of things that I would go back and do differently, right? And
Sure.
that's on me, right? That's not on them. That's on me. This situation with Lauren now, I'm not a big fan, and I love Lauren. And Lauren, if you're listening to this, I love you. I love Barbara. I love all the family. I'm not a big fan of this angle of attack, and I don't think it's helpful. I think it's destructive, frankly, and I think that it is. I think it's hurt his brand. I know it has.
Yeah,
and I think it's hurt his credibility with a lot of people. So,
Chris, we could go like 9 more hours with this. I want to thank you for taking some time with us tonight.
Well, man, I'm really glad to be here.
If you're ever up this way again, just shoot me a message. I'll shoot you a message, and
sounds good.
We'll exchange numbers. And if you're ever up this way again, just tell me. We'll bring you back in studio.
Well, I will be, because I'll be helping Jesse with his race, and so I'll be in and out
anytime, man. Just let me know.
I would love it.
And I'll be in touch too. And if we can do a Vegas broadcast with you,
let's set it up, man. Just let me know what you need, and we'll see if we can put it together.
I'm your guy, man. That would be I'd name my children after you, and they're already
awesome.
Born. They're already born.
Can we do like midgets and strippers and all that?
Yeah.
And do it like real big Vegas style?
We'll do the whole thing, man. Let's just do it.
That's the right way to do Vegas.
That's the only way to do Vegas, right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
And I will be down there next month. So if you're down there, we'll catch up or do something.
Yeah, I will be.
I'll buy a drink or something, and we'll just sit around and talk.
I love it.
Chris Gergen, man, thanks so much.
Appreciate you, man.
And good luck on the Jesse Young campaign. I mean, I'm supposed to stand biased, but I'm not unbiased with Jesse. I love the guy. I think he's upstanding. I think he's great. And there's a lot of detractors, people that talk a lot of smack about him, but the Jesse Young I know is the guy I want to send to Olympia every day.
Yep, and he's the guy that's going to win and win big.
Yeah, Chris, thanks so much, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Been great.
Thanks.
Awesome. All right, Outlaw Radio, half hour to go before we wap the show, so stick around. We're back after this on Mega Talk. Bill.